Donald Trump is a complete and total disaster. Every time he opens his mouth, it's like, are you kidding me? How can he be president of the United States? Yesterday, Benjamin Netanyahu was at the White House. He had a press conference. And of the bizarro things that he said, I found this to be one of the most bizarre, like throwing a bone to the Nazis.
The stories they told me, I mean, as an example, I said to them, was there any sign of love? You were there, 10 people. It's only 10, but it's pretty representative. Did the Hamas show any signs of, like, help or liking you? Did they wink at you? Did they give you a piece of bread extra? Did they give you a meal on the side, like, you think of doing? Like what happened in Germany, what happened elsewhere.
Oh,
people would try and help people that were in unbelievable distress. They said no. I said, all of them. I said, did they ever wink at you, like, you'll be okay? You're going to be okay? No, they didn't do that. They'd slap us. The hatred is unbelievable. And the lives, they lived in a pipe, not really a tunnel, it was a pipe. And they always thought they were suffocating, they were going to suffocate. And then.
What is he talking about? Did they give you a piece of bread? Did they wink at you? Did they like you like they did in Germany? I mean, he's in front of Netanyahu, who we can argue whether he's a war criminal or not, but he is Jewish. And so he's acting like there were people that were nice to the Nazis in the Oval Office. He is so ignorant. It's unbelievable.
This whole thing is disgusting to me. Benjamin Netanyahu is disgusting, and all of these MAGA Christians that are so concerned about babies and kids don't have a problem with the tens of thousands of kids that are killed in Gaza. Benjamin Netanyahu is an absolute disgrace. Donald Trump is an absolute disgrace. That is the most disgusting Oval Office meeting I've seen. It even trumps that of Zelensky. That is just beyond the pale to try to offer cover for the treatment of Jews in concentration camps. All the while, Benjamin Netanyahu is the most disgusting war criminal this world has on stage right now, and Americans continuing to fund the bombing and the killing of innocent Gazans in Palestine makes me sick to my stomach. It's grotesque. And I also think in this interview, he continued on about his discussions about wanting to develop this into a seaside community, and he would call it the freedom zone. This is so morally bankrupt and disgusting. And viewer, you can be a supporter of the Israeli people and Jewish people and also condemn with every fiber in your bone the war crimes and the senseless killings of innocent people in Palestine. And I'll tell you guys just a personal story. We live in Oklahoma City, and I play tennis every day during my lunch hour. There's a girl that I play tennis with. She's in one of my classes, and she said, "Oh, I'm not from here. I'm from," I think she said, Wisconsin or Michigan. And I said, "How'd you end up here?" And she said, "Oh, my husband." And then she said something like about her family living in Palestine. And I grabbed her arm and I said, "Ines, I'm so sorry about what's going on in Palestine, Gaza. It's just horrible." She starts crying and she says, "You're the only person in this entire state who was offered just a sense of humanity and acknowledgement." And then she kept saying, "I'm so sorry, I'm crying, but it's so horrible to see. My grandparents live there." So this is just, that whole display is disgusting to me. And we have all this shit going on. And the continued American funding of that is abhorrent.
And supporting Benjamin Netanyahu. I mean, it's gross. He is the hypocrisy when Trump says, "I want to make it a resort and call it the freedom zone." Are you kidding me? It's awful. And here we know he's a sociopath. We know he's a malignant narcissist. He has no empathy. Here we go.
I had Israeli parents come up to me at events and say, "My son is there." I said, "Well, how's he doing?" "Well, he's dead. But would you do me the biggest favor ever? Could you bring his body back home?" They talked about a young dead boy and a young dead girl like they were living. And that could have something to do with religion. That could have something to do with, I guess maybe any parent would be, but I was surprised. And they said, "Sir, my son is dead. It is just as important to bring that body back home." Right? So you have a lot of them dead, and we'll be able to bring them back. But it's a horrible thing that's happened. These are largely young people. Some old ones too, frankly.
Why is he so surprised that parents want their children's body back when they've been hostages and murdered by a terrorist organization? Why is that a new concept for him?
Well, because he is a malignant narcissist, a sociopath, and now we know why Eric and Don Jr. and, Ivanka, why all of these people are just so incredibly broken and cling on to the failed accomplishments of their father for their own identity and can't, cart their own way in life. I mean, this is typical dictator, sociopathic stuff. None of this is new. It's just new for America. All of this behavior has been, you can look at all of the dictators in history, and the similarities between Trump and other authoritarians or dictators or tyrants, whichever word you want to use, all of this is not new. It's just new for us because we always had people that tried to fight for decency, democracy. That whole thing is just really gross to me. And there's just so many egregious human rights violations over there. And all Benjamin Netanyahu's actions are going to do is create generations of angry people, broken. Their families are destroyed. Hospitals are destroyed. Members of the press killed, babies, women, just bombing with reckless disregard for humanity. And we fund it. It's gross. So to think that when we're funding all of this, that somehow he's going to make the jump to understand a parent's grief is something we shouldn't expect from him.
Yeah, you're right about that. He has never shown us any ability to have empathy.
They're killing babies over there with just, let's bomb this, let's bomb that, let's bomb this. And now all of a sudden we're supposed to care about a dead body. That it doesn't surprise me that he says that.
Right. And he's going straight down the line with the dictators with his $100 million military parade for his birthday.
Exactly. Yeah, he is. That military parade is crazy. And here's the thing. I think everybody needs to be better about vetting their news. Like, I think being a good citizen and understanding about all of these complicated issues, what's going on in the Middle East, what's going on with America, the similarities between previous authoritarians, current authoritarians, and what's going on with the American government. I think we have agency, and as a citizen, a responsible citizen, it's our job to vet our news. That's why, listener, Pumps and I every single morning get on ground news because it vets it for you. It tells you what's true, what isn't true, if the right's reporting it, if the center's reporting it, if the left is reporting it. It is invaluable in these times.
Ground news gives me such comfort in knowing, okay, where are these lies coming from? How's the right talking about this? Ground news tells you what they're talking about on right, left, center. It's such an important feature.
Listener, join us by going to groundnews.com/IHIP to get 40% off the Ground News Vantage plan that Pumps and I use every day. They're subscriber funded. And my favorite part is that this group is female founded. By subscribing, you're not only getting a tool we all need today, you're also supporting our work. That's groundnews.com/IHIP. And we have pinned this with our special discount code right below in the show notes or in the YouTube comment section.
As you're no doubt aware, the stock market is in free fall. The global market's free fall. Donald Trump running around telling Americans they're weak if they don't get behind the tariffs. Fox News echoing that. Here's what the UK says about that. Trump is turning the United States into a global laughingstock. And do you remember who said Trump is a complete and total laughingstock on the world stage?
Yeah, Kamala
Harris. And she's exactly right. And now that we're hearing from the Trump administration that they don't care, I wonder, is he ever going to back down on these tariffs? It's insanity is what it is.
I personally think a lot of the financial destruction is a part of his authoritarian play. I think that if he can create chaos and demean every institution possible, then he is going to have a better play at being the dictator that he wants to be. And one of those attacks is on the financial system to put an arrow and complete a grenade, literally, and make people doubt the economies will further make people more dependent and reliant upon him. So they're trying to dismantle everything from the judiciary, from the free press, to the left, to now the economy. I think this is a part of his authoritarian play, and that's why he doesn't care.
Well, and I have read reports that his family has cashed in big time before all these tariffs went into effect. You know, he's selling his Truth Social stock for $2 billion. None of that surprises me. He's profiting. He's transactional. It's ridiculous. Okay. And as a shock to no one, Elon Musk, who is taking a chainsaw through the United States government and installing incompetent people doing incompetent jobs. Here's what happened just yesterday. Elon Musk's young Doge goons have made yet another tech blunder as they launched untested software, crashing the Social Security website. Here's the thing. I am all for government efficiency. I really am. Let's cut down on some of the fat, but going in and they have no experience. Government is, you have to be specialized. You have to be an expert to, I would even say a forensic accountant would be better than Elon Musk. And big balls, this is crazy to me that they think this is a good idea.
Yeah, I think this is intentional. They say that it was an accident, but Elon Musk is on record, and Republicans for years have been toying with the idea of dismantling Social Security. They don't like it. And so, I mean, they say that, oh, his goons messed up, but did they mess up? Or is this an intentional break of Social Security so it's that much more difficult to put it back together? That would be my question.
So you're saying, is it incompetence or is it corruption? I hadn't thought about that.
Is it incompetence or is it intentional? All of this is corruption. Every ounce of this is corrupt. So I think we arrive at the Trump administration with the thesis statement, this is a corrupt administration. But are his actions accidental / incompetence, or are they intentional? I don't think any of us trust Elon Musk enough to know whether this was intentional or not intentional. And I think it was, 3 weeks ago, he's saying Social Security is a Ponzi scheme on Joe Rogan, and now Social Security is broken. At the same time, they're intentionally tanking the markets. I mean, I just think a lot of this is a lot more intentional than we all realize, so that they can all consolidate power in a personality cult behind a man that wears orange makeup every day.
Wow. I mean, that gives me something to think about for sure. I was just thinking straight rampant incompetence, but you make a very valid point.
I mean, it could be, but I think that it's entirely possible that a lot of this is intentional and authoritarian plays.
All right. So that's the uplifting news of the morning. Is it incompetence or is it intentional wrecking of the government? I guess we'll find out. Stick with us. We're trying to get to 1 million subscribers.